Hello Capricorn, this is your August forecast. It's a very, very busy month ahead, so let me dive right in by saying that on the 2nd of August we've got Mercury, planet of communications, conjunct to Jupiter, planet of abundance and growth. And it's happening for you here, this Mercury here and Jupiter, in your 8th house. A lot happening this month in this 8th house. So what this means is that you could in fact receive some good news. There could be good news about an inheritance, some good news about a loan, good news about possibly somebody investing in you, maybe a crowd funding or a Kickstarter program. Something could be something good there happening. The thing about it as well though is you're going to have to be careful that Jupiter has a tendency to blurt things out. When it comes near Mercury, be careful you don't shoot your mouth off and regret afterwards saying something. This would particularly have something to do with finances. Anything connected with maybe somebody you speak to in tax or insurance or mortgage or a bank or maybe a business partner. Just kind of be wary about that. And also I'll be quite careful with signing contracts. I'd make sure that you haven't glossed over any important details, because that can possibly happen with that aspect. Now on the 8th of August, Mercury very busy this month. Mercury is making a lovely trine aspect to Uranus. So Mercury up here, Uranus down here. And Mercury is the lower mind. Mercury is, what are we having for dinner tonight? And Uranus is the higher mind, the divine mind. And when these two come into a harmonious aspect together, you get an opportunity for some inspired thinking, for information to come in that you kind of just couldn't have imagined had you really gone along your linear thinking. This is just something that comes a bolt out of the blue. So for you, this could in fact be an idea to solve a situation, a family situation that's been difficult or bothering you. It could be an idea about maybe you're trying to sell your house or move. This could be an inspired idea that comes to you. Problem solving. It's a wonderful day for solving a difficult problem, inspirationally, without that kind of effort that we often have to put in, but just something coming in out of the blue. On the 10th of August, we have got a full moon in Aquarius. And this is in your 2nd house, Capricorn, so shining a light very much on your finances. So it's wanting you to look at, are you budgeting carefully? Of course, as Capricorns, many of you are pretty frugal anyway, or careful with money. But this is shining a light on your income, how you make your money. Maybe you want to look at different ways of dealing with money, how you're dealing with money. Are you being as sensible as your sign would indicate? Are you also valuing yourself enough? This is the house of values, of self-esteem. It's shining a light on, are you valuing what you're doing? Are you charging enough for what you do? Those are all questions that could be arising during this full moon in your 2nd house. On the 13th of August, we've got Venus. So for the first couple of weeks, Venus is in your 7th house of relationship, Capricorn. So this can bring some peace in a difficult relationship or a difficult situation. And of course, for those of you looking for romance, it could bring a romance, a romantic partner, or somebody you just feel a love connection with, a heart connection. On the 13th of August, this Venus moves into this house of joint finances, money, and also the house of sex. So Venus could bring a deepening of a relationship, going deeper, going into more of the emotional side of a relationship. This also again, especially as on the 18th of the month, we've got an exact conjunction of Venus together with Jupiter, which is very fortunate. This could really bring you some good fortune financially, coming from somebody else wanting to help you or give to you in some way. Also, it's important with this aspect, if you like, the downside of it is that you have to watch that you're not expecting somebody to help you out, that you're putting in your hard work as well. And being Capricorns, I'm sure you're doing that, but I just have to say that is another way how this can play out, is you have kind of an attitude of like entitlement to something, as though you really deserve something, and maybe you need to question as to whether that's true or not. Of course, this is also a good aspect to buy a lottery ticket if you are so inclined. On the 16th of August, we've got Mercury coming up into your 9th house, Capricorns, and this is a wonderful time for writing, publishing a book, publishing an ebook, getting information out there, for research, for teaching. It's also a really good time for planning a trip, a journey, and this could be a journey into your spiritual destiny, your spiritual life, for studying spirituality in a new way, for looking at it differently, maybe for doing some research into all this metaphysical area. Could be that you decide to become an astrologer as well, that could be triggered. Now on the 24th of August, we've got the Sun moving into this 9th house as well, and on the 25th of August, we've got a new moon in Virgo, and that is also going to be in the 9th house. So if you like, the first part of the month is focused on this 8th house, which is very much to do with joint finances or any kind of financial organisations that you have anything to do with, and that would include banks, insurance companies, the IRS, tax, all that kind of thing would come under that, and joint partnerships. Also would include anything involving any psychology, going deeper into your unconscious, resolving maybe some emotional issues, and of course going deeper into your sexual side as well. Maybe, well, I don't think I'll say any more about that. That's probably enough about that for Capricorns. You're usually fairly conservative, so won't go into detail on that. But then we get the focus in this 9th house, Capricorns, and this is very much about looking to the future, looking at whether there is something you'd like to study, to learn, to teach, to share. Also, whether you want to take a trip. This will be a great time for new beginnings, for planning a new trip, maybe to somewhere you've never been before. And don't forget now, you don't necessarily have to go there anymore. We can do so much through virtual reality. That is going to be coming fairly soon. And so we can do it by just watching videos of places that we'd really like to be at, and really feeling it and visualising it and seeing it. And that is in some ways does just as much good as going. So for those of you who are not able to go, that's another way of accessing those aspects. But it's certainly a time for meeting people from overseas, for connecting with people internationally, and maybe even doing some business internationally. That would open up for you this month. Now, the more challenging aspect is that Saturn, your ruler, is conjunct to Mars for the last couple of weeks of the month. Now, Mars and Saturn, usually Mars is actually stronger than Saturn when they come together. And Mars wants you to get on with it. Get going, you're a cardinal sign, you do like to take action, you don't like to sit still much. And the Saturn energy next to the Mars is actually probably going to make you, it's going to slow you down a bit. So, not that you're impulsive necessarily, Capricorns, but what it's going to force you to do is to structure your actions carefully and to only focus on what's most important and to do one thing at a time. So do one thing, you can be really productive with Saturn because Saturn forces the structure on your actions and makes you productive, but you won't be productive if you're trying to just do too many things at once. So you can make really good use of that energy, I feel, Capricorns, especially as Saturn's your ruler. So we're balancing really the energies of this serious part going on for the last couple of weeks of the month, and then also this fun and playful part going on as well for this last couple of weeks of the month. So try to balance your workaholic tendencies with working and studying and learning and doing a great job with actually enjoying, having fun, seeing the funny side of situations so that you're not getting upset so much and you're just seeing the funny side of things. Because afterwards, when you're out of something, It really is funny for the most part. Not everything, but for the most part. So there you have it. I wish you a great month. Thank you very much for subscribing, commenting, sharing. Bye for now.